Wow, hacker.
What? Apparently I'm hacking again. Report me, buddy.
Bro, there's no fucking way you're cheating, bro.
Oh my god, back to back. What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most underrated weapons in Warzone, and that is going to be the RAM-7. If you guys were unaware, this gun actually fries and melts extremely fast up close and even at some medium ranges. Before the FFAR was added, this was kind of like the FFAR of Modern Warfare, where it was like a really good sniper combo weapon, but recently I've been using it as my main AR, and it's actually incredibly good. So if you guys do find this video helpful or informative, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you would like to see more. Also remember to comment down below and tell me what you think of the RAM-7. So, like I already went into, this used to be a sniper complement weapon. The FFAR kind of fills that role much better, however. So I tried it as a main AR, and it has been getting a lot of attention recently. I know Symphony loves this gun. A lot of keyboard players love this gun, but I play on controller, and as you'll see here, the recoil is still very controllable, even on controller. I think one of the things that has made this weapon really good recently, or at least opened people up to using it recently, has been the kilo nerf led to a lot of people trying out the CR56 AMAX and actually figuring out that they can control that recoil if they put in the time to learn the weapon and improve with it. And the RAM is kind of the same way. If you put in the time with the RAM and get used to it, you can control the recoil. And while I do think the AMAX is better, there are some things that the RAM does better, which we will get to later on. And I actually think that depending on if the AMAX gets nerfed or not, I don't really think the AMAX is that OP, but if they end up nerfing it, I think the RAM-7 might be like the go-to weapon that fills the same exact role of being like a faster TTK assault rifle with some recoil. So let's get into the class setup here, and then I will show some of the damage comparisons between the AMAX and the RAM, and we'll talk about that after the class setup. So for our class setup with the RAM, we're going to be using a pretty standard loadout. We're going to have monolithic suppressor, FSS Ranger barrel, the Commando foregrip, 50 round mag, and the VLK optic. Going to be using this with the T-pose reticle. Like the AMAX, the RAM has a good amount of recoil, and I think you will notice that it's a little bit easier to control, or it just feels a little bit nicer when you have the T-pose reticle on it. So I would definitely recommend using that, and there's really not too much to explain with this weapon. Super standard loadout, but what you will get with this weapon is definitely worth trying it out. So as you saw from that, pretty basic class setup, and now let's get into some of the damage comparison charts. We're going to be comparing the AMAX and the Kilo. I think the AMAX is the best assault rifle in the game right now, and the Kilo is probably second best, but it's a weapon that a lot of people are used to and a lot of people are familiar with, so I think comparing it to the Kilo is very helpful. So as you'll see here, compared to these weapons, the Kilo is the pink line, the RAM is the orange, and then the AMAX is blue. The AMAX kills faster at every range. It's not even comparable, really. But this is stomach shots. One thing that makes the RAM better than the AMAX, or that's chest shots. When you go to stomach shots or extremities shots, you have this graph here. And as you see, the RAM kills faster than the other two assault rifles. And the reason for this is, the RAM has the same damage regardless if you shoot upper chest, lower chest, or limbs. The only time you get different damage on the RAM is if you're hitting headshots, whereas something like the AMAX, it has different damage for upper chest, different damage for lower chest, and different damage for limbs. Obviously, this makes sense because it rewards good aim. If you have really good aim, you're going to be hitting upper chest all the time. But that's not always like something you can do in Warzone. So having a consistent damage regardless of where you shoot the opponent, especially for these higher recoil weapons, actually adds a lot of value to the RAM and makes it a more consistent weapon than the AMAX. Both of them have recoil, and when you're trying to like compensate for that recoil, especially at longer ranges, you can't always be super picky about where you hit the opponent. Sometimes you're going to hit upper chest, sometimes you're going to hit lower chest, and it just is what it is. If you're someone who's struggling with aim or you don't have the best aim, the RAM is probably going to be a more consistent option for you. And even if you do have good aim, the RAM is probably going to be more consistent than the AMAX just because of how consistent the damage is. And while I love the AMAX, it's my favorite weapon in the game right now, the RAM can definitely compete with it. And this added benefit of just being incredibly consistent is definitely something that holds a lot of value. This is one of the reasons why I think the Modern Warfare MP5 is still one of the best submachine guns, is because regardless of where you hit the person, it does basically the same damage. So you don't have to be super picky with your shots. You can maybe put more effort into your movement, whatever. As long as you're hitting the person, you're doing the good damage. And I feel like guns like that actually have so much value in Warzone. And that's one of the things that the RAM does better than the AMAX. So I would definitely recommend you guys trying this weapon out. Give it a few games. It will take a while to get used to. Like the AMAX, I do enjoy using the T-pose reticle on my RAM. And you'll just notice it's extremely consistent and it melts extremely fast once you get used to that recoil pattern. It has recoil. You're going to have to learn it. Maybe give it a few games before you really judge it. But if you do put in the time and master this weapon, I think you'll have one of the best weapons in Warzone. And I think it's really unlikely this gun will get nerfed and that the AMAX will probably get nerfed before it. And then if that happens, you can just go right to the RAM and you're already ready for the next meta. If you guys did find this video helpful or informative, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'm going to let the gameplay play out so you can see more of this RAM in action and see my live reactions to it on stream. Thanks for watching, guys. That's where the RAM, like, beats out other ARs. If I have, like, a Kilo or an M4 there, we're probably dead. The RAM, like, shreds up close, though. It was a bad play. AMAX, I could maybe get that kill, too. But the AMAX, I think the RAM might kill faster, like, super up close than the AMAX. This is what, like, this was, like, the best, like, sniper combo weapon for the longest time.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Gas is moving. Only 5 remain. Finish the job.
Right shoulder stunning, kids. We're not in here, but we're close enough.
No!
Holy.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Losing ground.
Dude, this game is so fake. Dude, I hate this game with the gas sometimes.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone
Like, it just,
located.
like,
That's it. Back at it.
it doesn't just do what I think it's gonna do ever when it's traveling. It's weird. Right shoulder.
Done.
Shoulder. Fuck right shoulders, dude. I have no respect for them. So I have literally negative respect for right shoulder. They know they're horrible.
Fucking go, dude. You're fucking insane.
So instead of trying to play and get better, they try to play in this absurd way that makes no sense to try to win in the short term, but it doesn't even really work. Like, you check the skill check. If you play against anybody decent, you're not winning. Like, it's so cheese.